Hello, this video is going to be about how do we find reference samples in Sierra chart while we're working. So a lot of times we want to see example code or reference code or whatnot to help us either develop faster because we have like a good starting point, or we're just looking for an example of something that we're trying to do. Now, there are the forums and everything, and I found that the Sierra chart comes with a lot of source code and examples that we can use to learn from, and to serve as like just a starting point, a base point for our own studies. So I'll start out by showing where this is located, where all this source stuff is. Okay, so under every Sierra chart installation, you're going to find that there is a folder called ACS source. It's the one that I just marked off. And if I drop into this, you're going to see that there's a lot of files here. They're all C++ files. You can see it by looking at this list. And if I just open any one randomly, okay, I'll open this up with Notepad, you'll see that it just includes a very long list of different study functions. Okay, this is like a double stochastics, and if I close that down, I'll see that there are previous bar close, and these are all different pieces of code or entire studies that basically implement something, and you can see it's just the full study as we saw in previous videos. Now, that is the directory, and that's like the first important thing to understand is this is available and it's here. There are two ways that normally we get to this. One is just in the documentation. You're going to see that in different areas of the documentation, there's going to be references to these files. You see it. It's in the ACS source, and it says look under SE studies.cpp. Okay, and it even tells us that to look at the exact name of the study function that we're going to look under there. So if I were to go under studies.cpp now, let's give that as a quick example. I'll open here, I'll go down to studies, open this up with Notepad, and we were looking before for what was it? It was SCF custom. I'm going to copy that, go back to my text editor, and paste that in, and click find, and voila. Found it for me. Here is the function, and I'll probably be seeing here examples of whatever was discussed here. In this case, it was the set custom input strings. So that's one way. It's just from the reference documentation has a lot of pointers to these files, and it's always a good place to look and start your study or see an example of working code from there. The other way is that we often have like a study that we're starting from. Okay, we see something in Sierra chart, some study that we liked, and we want to enhance it or change it, or perhaps use that as a basis for our own study. So this is not available for everything, but for a lot of stuff, there's a pretty big range of stuff that you can find, or studies that you can find that are in this list that have the source code for them available. It's free. So I'll show an example how I go about looking for this. Let's say that I'm just, for the sake of example, I have the bar difference study. Okay, so I'm going to apply that, draws this green line down here, and I want to do something with that study, whatever it is, and I want to look for the source code and use that as the basis for making changes to it, or just seeing how they did it and maybe do it a bit differently myself. So what I do is this. I go into my, I can either look directly within the environment. I'm going to show this through Visual Studio, how I do it from Visual Studio, how I do my search. So what I do is I click on these find in files, this little binoculars and folder, and that'll pop this up. And when you first do it, you have like, I'm sorry about that. Let's put that in the middle so it's more convenient. Yeah. Come on. Okay, so this dialog comes up, and you'll see that I can pretty much enter text here. So I'm going to enter, we wanted to look for the study name, which is bar difference. Okay, so enter the study name, and you'll see that my options here are for the current document, all open documents, the entire solution, current project, and the Visual C++ include directory. We don't want any of those. We want to specify a specific directory in which the search will happen. So I'm going to go into here, And this might come up a bit different. You might be, on the root of your drive or whatever. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my Sierra chart folder, and I'm going to go down to Demo, Sierra chart, and select the ACS source. And I'm going to add that here using this little arrow. Okay. And I'm going to give this folder set a name. I'm going to call this ACS source. Click apply, click OK. And now I have this ACS source under my lookin. Okay, it's been added to this list. So I'm going to just click on that and click on Find All. Okay, now Find All produced these results down here. So it says to me that under D, Demo, Sierra Chart, ACS Source, under Study CPP, study7.cpp, right here, okay, on line 3365, I have this piece of text, SC subgraph equals bar difference. So I double click on this, okay, and it brings me right to this file, right to the implementation of SC bar difference. And I can either look at this and see what the implementation does, how it was done, and I can also copy it like so, paste it into my own source file, which I called scstudies.cpp. Okay, come down to the bottom, enter, and paste. Okay, I'll give this a different name. Call it Demo bar difference, and I will give it a different graph name, my bar difference, and so on. Okay, once I compile this, okay, I compiled it, it succeeded. Now I'll go into Sierra Charts, add custom study, and we're going to see that have bar difference my was added. And from there on, I can make changes to the code, and it is my own custom study to enhance and change to whatever I need. I think that pretty much covers it. How we can use the Sierra chart examples, and how we go from the reference documentation to find example source. And that's it for today. Hope you learned something from this, and see you soon.